My name is Jensen. Let's learn some Microsoft Power Automate. Today we will see how we can compare Excel sheets in Power Automate. So here in my OneDrive I got an Excel book. Let's open it. And what you'll see is that we have two tables, a blue table and a green table. These tables could have been in two different sheets, however I just made them in the same sheet so we could have a more easy look at them. They both consist of idea and name, and we have 1, 2, 3, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie here in the blue one, and in the green one we have 1, 3, 4. You'll see that it misses the 2 and have a 4 and Alpha, Charlie, Delta. We want to find out first what rows they have in common, so that will be 1 and 3, right? Then we want to have a look at the blue one and figure out which values of the blue ones that's not in the green one, and that is only the ID 2 Bravo. And then finally we'll make a join, so we'll list all rows but only one time, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4 that goes into a join. We'll create 3 different workflows, one for the match, one for the no match, and one for the join. Let's see how that is done. And by the way, I named all these tables, so a blue table, green table, match table, no match table, join table. By the way, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. That will really help me a lot. So go to Power Automate, and then we'll click Create. First we will create the match flow. So we will choose an instant flow, just a manual trigger, and this one we could call this match. Then a manual trigger flow and click Create. What we'll do first is that we'll read the blue table here. So click New Step, then search for list rows present in a table here, or you can find it in Excel Online, like this. Then we'll choose where we want to look at. Mine is in my OneDrive for Business. The document library, that's OneDrive. Then the file, that's wherever you place it. I placed mine in this folder. X names, values. Then we'll choose our table, and we can see that we got blue, green, join, match, no match. We want to read the blue table like this. So now we read it. Then we want to loop through it. But let's just rename this so we will have a better understanding. List row present in, and then we could just say table blue. It's always nice to rename your activities so you will have a better view when you go back to them. But let's create an apply to each. This one will loop through all rows from up here. So apply to each. Specify the value here. And what we'll do here is that this one will loop through all the rows. So why don't we rename this as well? Apply to each in table blue. Then we will list all rows in the green table, and we will have a nested loop, and I'll show you the logic for that in a few seconds. But let's first list the rows present in the green table. You can choose here. The location is just the same. The document library is the same. The file, that will be still the values, and then the table will be the green table. Like this, and we can rename this too. So list row present in table green. Now we will have a nested loop. So click in here, and we will have an apply to each that will loop through each values of the green table. And why is that? Well, let me explain. And let us just see that we picked the right table here, table green and not table blue, for this inner loop here. And let me rename this. So apply to each in table green. And why is that? Well, let's go to our Excel sheet. So first, the outer loop that is looping through each one of these. So first we are here in the first row. And then what we do is that we make the inner loop. So we are here. We have the value from here. Then we want to loop through each one of the values from the green table and see if we have a match. If we have that, it will go over here. And if we don't have a match, this row will not be a match, right? So, and then we'll go to the next row and loop through each one of the rows in the green table and then the last row. So So that's the logic behind it. So now we have this inner loop, and in this inner loop we'll make a condition, like if there was a match. So if the idea column corresponds to the idea column up here. So let's click add an action. We will choose a condition. What we'll do is that we will take the, and I like to sometimes just have the logic that I'll take the idea from the first table, that will be the blue one. It doesn't matter which one you choose first, just make sure, I say it again, make sure that you choose each one of the tables here. So if this is true, then we will have a match, right? That's over here. Then we can just add a row to our match table. And if not, nothing will happen. We will just take the next row in the blue table. So here we will choose add an action, and then we will say add a row into a table. So now we will still the same location, OneDrive, then xname values, and then where do we want to add it? We want to add it to the table match, like this. And then we will just say the idea. Here it doesn't matter because the idea is equal to each other, so you can choose whether table you want. I'll just choose the blue one, like here. So now we created a flow for finding matching rows into Excel tables or sheets. So let's click save. Try to run our flow, click test. I'll perform the trigger action, save and test. Now we will continue, run the flow, done. Then we can see here our flow is running. This one can take a few seconds before we are done. And 8, 9, your flow ran successfully. So now we should have updated the match table. Let us close this value down and open it again. What we'll see here is that we indeed have the two matches, 1 and 3 in the match. Now let's update our no match table, and that is the values that we have in the blue table that are not present in the green table. In this case it's 2 Bravo. We can see that it's not present in the green table. Remember, those ones could be big Excel sheets in different sheets, different tables, and this one is a really cool function. So just learn the 3 of them. And by the way, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get all the new videos about Microsoft Power Automate. But let's create a whole new flow. So go to Microsoft Power Automate and click create. We'll call this no match, and we'll choose an instant flow again. No match. We'll manually trigger a flow, and then we'll click create. We'll still be doing the nested loops. However, it will be slightly different, and we will introduce a variable, and we will say initialize variable. This variable is a boolean, so initialize variable, and a boolean is a variable that can either be true or false, and we can call this bool match, call it whatever you want, and we'll set the default value to false. And what you'll need to do here is that you'll go to expression and then you'll say false. You'll probably do that a lot, and then we'll click OK, and we now set it to false, like this. Now we read the blue table like we did before. So list rows present in a table, like this. OneDrive business. We could have reused the flow, but I would like to create it from scratch, so you can see how we create a no match flow. Then our table is still the blue one, so now we read the blue one. Let's rename it again. In table blue, right? And here up here we'll initialize the bool match variable. Like this. Now we can make our apply to each, so click new step. Apply to each, search for that, and that will be the value that we got from up here. So apply to each in table blue, right? Here. Now we will list what we got in our second table, that's the green table, so add an action, just like we did before. There's nothing weird about this, it's just what we did before. So file, x names, values, and then the table green. So the intuition, what we'll be doing here, is that we will still make this nested loop. I'll explain what the intuition is in a few seconds. Apply to each, and that will be the value of the table. I haven't updated this, so the name here, but let me do that. It's always nice, so we can go back and easily see what we actually are doing. This one, apply to each in table green. What we do here is that we will iterate through each of the values here in the blue table. So first we will say 1 alpha, then we'll go to our inner loop, and then we'll check if any one of these are named 1 alpha, and if that is right, we will set our bool match variable to true, because then we'll know that it's present over here and it's not a no match. So we will not be copying this 1 alpha to this table. However, when we go to Bravo, we will see that our bool match is not set to true, and then we can add a row to this no match table. Let's see how that is done. So now we're iterating to each of the green tables, and we'll add a condition in here. So what we'll do is that we will add an action in here, and we will have a condition. So a condition here, like this. And what we'll do is that we'll still ask, is the idea equal to the idea? So is the idea in the blue table equal to the idea in the green table? If that is true, then we will set our bool match to true, like here. So add an action, and we'll say set variable, bool match, and we'll go to the expression and say it's true, right? We'll click OK, and now we're done. I don't know why sometimes you will have to click twice. It's quite annoying, but yeah, now it works. So now we know that we have a match, and then after we did this loop, we could either have a true or false. If it's true, then it's not a no match. However, if the bool match is still false, we'll know that we can update our no match table. We'll do that here outside of our inner loop. So add an action, and we'll have a condition more here. So condition. Now we will ask what value our bool match will take. So bool match, and we'll choose a value here, expression, false, like this, and it can either be true or false. If it is false, then we want to update the no match table, because then we found no match in the green table and we can easily update this. However, if it's not false, then we know it's true and we can start over. And we need to update our bool match variable to set it as false again, because now it's true. So add the action, set variable, bool match, and then false in the expression here. Is it this one? Yeah. Like this. Then what we will need to do is that we will have an add row over here, right? So add a row to a table, because now it's false, and we'll know we have no match. So what table do we want to add to? That is the no match table. So let's just click through all this boring stuff. By the way, if you enjoyed the video, I will be really happy if you gave it a thumbs up, because that will really help me a lot. So here we'll have the no match table, and we'll wait a few seconds, and we'll see that the idea name comes up here. We will update it with the idea name from the table blue. Remember that, not table green. I repeat, table blue. So idea and name, like this. Now we can run our workflow and verify that we indeed get our no match table update. So click save. We will click test. I'll perform the trigger action. We will test it. We will continue, run the flow, done. And now we run the flow. We still here in the nested apply for each. That will take a few seconds. And then we are done. Your flow ran successfully. We can now close down our values, go to our OneDrive again and open the sheet again and verify that we indeed have the no match updated. So far so good. And let's finally create our join workflow. Let me explain the strategy. So first we'll update this join table, and this one will be 1, 2, 3, 4. We want those rows in it. What we'll do is that we'll first just take all rows from the blue one, add them here. Then we will iterate through the green table and make that as the outer loop and the blue as the inner loop. So first we will take this one. If we find a match, then we'll know that we shouldn't add this one because it's already added. Then we'll go to the next one. If there's a match, then we'll know we shouldn't add that either. And then the last one, we can see that there's no match and we will add that. Let's create that workflow in Power Automate. So we'll create a new workflow again. We will call it join. So instant flow. We will call this join. Then we will manually trigger the flow. And again, we will initialize our boolean match variable. So click new step. And what we'll do is that we'll say initialize variable here. Variable name will still be boolean match, right? And then the value that will be in the expression, and we'll set that to false. Like this. So now we can start to list our blue table. Maybe we should rename again so we can have a better view. So now new step, and then we will list rows present in the blue table. Let me rename that as well. In table the blue. This one is boring, I know, but I thought it would be cool to create 3 workflows so you can see how each one of them are built. Now we will have an apply to each here. Like this. So here we will have the value that we got from up here. And what we'll do here is that we'll just add each of the rows that we iterate through to a table. But here we'll say apply to each. In table blue. So let's add an action, and then we'll add a row to a table here. And again we can go through this file, that will be the X names values, then the table. So where would we want to add? We want to add to the table join, like this. We will add the idea, and then we will add the name, right? And we can rename this as well. Add row into table join, maybe. Like this. So now, so far so good. We have added all the values from the blue table into this join. Now we'll iterate through each one of the green ones. So what we'll do is that we'll create a new step. Then we will say list rows present in a table again. And let me update the name again. So list rows present in table green. Like this, we will have the OneDrive file, that will still be the file name. Like this, and the table, that will be the green table. So now we are iterating through this green table. We will have a nested loop again, but this time it will be the green one, that is the outer one, as I mentioned a couple of times, sorry. And this one will be the values from the green table. So here. And now we can have our inner loop. Apply to each. Here. And this one will be the value from the blue table. So remember to differentiate between your tables. So this one will be the other one that you used up here. And now what we'll do here is that we'll iterate through, and we will have a condition. So whenever we iterating through here, and we find a match, we will update our bool match variable to true, because then we'll know that we shouldn't update the current row in the green table to our join. So what we'll do is that now we're iterating through, and we will have a condition. The condition is similar to the one we created before. So condition, and what we'll ask here is that is the idea the same one in both of them here. And the green one, this one was the blue one. And if it is true, that it is true, we will update our bool match variable. So add an action here, set variable here. We'll say the bool match like this, and we will set this to true, right? Like this. So now we know that, and we can go outside. So when we have done one iteration to the blue table, and we know if our bool match is false, then we will know that it was not in the blue table, so we need to update our join. So we'll click in here in the outer loop, and we'll make another condition here. So in the outer loop here, we will say condition like this, and what we'll do is that we'll look at our bool match. So condition is our bool match, right? If this one is false, then we will update our table, as I said. I'm sorry I repeating myself, but this one could be a little bit complicated, so I think it's nice to repeat. By the way, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get all the new videos about Power Automate. So here, if this is false, or we can actually say if it's true maybe, we could do. So if the bool match is false, then we are over here, and then we want to update add our row to our table. So we'll click add an action, add a row into a table. Where do we want to add it? We want to add OneDrive for business. We want to add OneDrive, we want to add a name again here, and the table we want to add to is the join. What do we want to add? We want to add the idea and the name from the green one, because that's the one we are iterating through. So now it's nice to have appropriate names like this. We also, so if it's false, we go over here. Otherwise, we go over here, it's no. Then we know it's true, and we need to reset the variable to false. So say set variable like this, the bool match, and we'll set it to false, like reset it. False. Sorry, it's a bit hard to see here. Oh, it can be sometimes now, for example, we will the pop-up is not coming up. So what we'll need to do here is that this is an error that is still in the early days. So this is an error that you'll sometimes get, and I just keep it here because you can see how Power Automate can sometimes be a little bit annoying. But let us try again. Now we got the expression editor here, so we'll set that to false. And this one should be this one. Yeah. It's a bit hard to see down here, but now we created the loop, and we will see that we can update our joined table. This one is secure. Let me close this one down. So let's run our flow. First we will save it. Save it. Now we will test it. Save and test. We will run it. Run the flow. We will click done. And my flow is running. So wait a few seconds. Now we're here in the last iteration. What is our nested loop? And now we're done. So then we go to, let me close this one down, and let's open it and see that we have updated our join table correctly, right? 1 Alpha, 2 Bravo, 3 Charlie, 4 Delta. That's it. That's how you compare Excel sheet. It's really easy. And remember, those tables could have been in different sheets. They could have been much bigger. We could still have done it. That's it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.